Game Double Tap, Mike here, everybody. Welcome back again to Lost Heir 1. It is once again time for your very playful, flirtatious, and very, very powerfully educated apprentice of the monk in dark arts to again begin his journey into the world of Lost Heir 1. So, last time we left off, we were heading to the bar with Thea, our fellow partner, commander, I guess, on the last mission from the Adventurers League from our town we were born in. And we lost quite a few sheep. Sheep were serviced and sheep were killed and lost. We had lots of weird things. So swing back to chapter part 1 and part 2 if you want to know what happened. But for sure, spoiler alert, there will be some references back to part 1 and part 2. So if you want to know exactly what I'm doing, go back and check there. Now, for these adventures, I have a couple of sound makers. Usually when there's a monster, you'll hear the screaming goat. And usually if there's money exchange, you'll hear this sound. And if there's something terrible that happens, you'll hear a bunch of different sounds, some like this. Or you might hear some other sounds. So we have a little bit of a sound maker, which I use to kind of give the game a little bit of sound effects and a little bit of RPG-like progression. Like if you're listening to an audio story, I like to make those little RPG sounds because this is a text-based game and it just give it a little bit of flavor and juiciness and depth. Secondly, our lovely background music ambience creator is done by MyNoise, that is MyNoise, all one word. You can find them in my description. It is an app that allows you to create all these intricate, deep sound generators and is completely accessible to the blind and visually impaired. All right, and this is Game Double Tap. My name is Mike. This is Lost Heir 1, and let's get on to part 3. All right, let's start to play.
Subscribe button. More games. Share button. Restart button. Play button.
Here we go.
Audio button. Off. Volume. Speaking rate 100%. 65%. 60%. Words. Characters. Vertical headings.
All right, I try to keep the speaking rate at 60%. I usually read the choices, and when we have a choice to make, you're going to hear this sound. And if we improve our stats, you're going to hear this sound. So you might hear it multiple times. That means we've gone up in stats in several different arenas. And of course, whenever we complete a chapter, you'll hear something like this. And when, of course, we do our notorious flirting, you'll hear this sound. It's all in good fun, folks. This is a fiction game, so there's no need to worry. There's no need to worry. No real people were involved in this, except for myself. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. I just want to warn you again, this game is PG-13, 12 and plus, so this isn't necessarily a game that has heavy material. That is anything that is way beyond adult level. This is just technically just PG-13. Some mild sexual references and a little innuendo and a little this, a little that. Again, this is 12 plus. The developers clearly stated that in the app. So if you are under 12 and playing this game, then no, you're not. You're not allowed. You have to be 12 plus. So that is the age range. If anything changes, folks, I reserve the right to have myself corrected by the developer or by the App Store. Apps do change. For the most part, you can check out the description. Content ratings and all that stuff are given in the app itself. I'm not responsible for that. The material in this game, I am not responsible for what you hear. This is a game. So I didn't write it. So I'm just playing it. What I do here is a little bit of comedy, a little bit of gaming, a little bit of just chilling and having a good laugh or two. So if that is your cup of tea, you may feel free to stay with me. If that isn't your cup of tea, much kindness to you, and we'll hear you on the next game. Maybe that will be more your cup of tea. But if anything, I always encourage you, give the channel a chance. Give me a chance. Let me entertain you. And I hope that you like what I do here and enjoy this kind of thing. This is a very long Let's Play, usually an hour to 2 hours. So if you want to just put it on and let it play, that's your best bet. You're not going to probably want to actively listen for the entire time, because sometimes I do take a break. I might have to take a little tiny break. I might have to meander and get something done or something like that. But like a stream kind of dealio, stick with me and relax. Take a nap if you need to. Just let me play in the background, and I'll try to keep it mellow and cool and fun for you all at the same time, yet entertaining enough to keep you awake if you're at the office or if you're just moving around the house doing laundry and stuff like that. So hopefully I make you laugh and you have a good time. With that incredibly long intro out of the way, let's pick up where we left off.
Lost Heir 1. Heading. Show stats. But you and Thea enter a tavern. She buys a round and drinks half of her beverage in one large swallow. She then takes the box out of her belt pouch and sets it on the table.
All right, Thea drank all her drink. Let's give her the sound. Nice.
No more she says with an air of determination. I'm tired of taking on shit jobs. This is my chance to make some real money.
I'm tired of shit jobs too. I don't blame you, Thea.
She puts the box back into the belt pouch and looks you in the eye.
Okay, let's begin.
I'm going to hire someone to open it, she says. Instead of selling it off and letting someone else reap the rewards, I'm going to hire a crew myself. There's going to be some cost in getting things started, but what do you say to being my partner?
Yeah, I think we should be partners. I mean, we work together really well.
You realize that this could be exactly the kind of opportunity you've been hoping for. If you can find something that the consortium wants, it would give you a legitimate reason to gain an audience with Alexander Zusak.
Yeah, we got some people to kill. If you want to know who we need to kill, go back to part 1.
Become a partner. 100 gold for a share of the box. 50 gold needed to open it. And 20 gold to post Adventurer Guild ads. Needs 170 gold. Dim. Radio button. Uncheck.
Oh,
1 of 2.
I need more money. Come on.
Say, I don't have the money. Radio button. Check. 2 of 2.
I want to join this one. Okay.
Next. Button. Say, become a partner. 100 gold for a share of the box.
Maybe I
50
can
gold needed to open it.
owe her.
And 20 gold to post Adventurer Guild ads. Needs 170 gold. Dim. Radio
Okay.
button. Uncheck.
So when there's
1
a
of 2.
choice, you'll hear that sound. Or sometimes I'll do it twice if I've made a choice, a different choice, and you'll hear me moving around from choice to choice. So you'll get to hear all the possibilities before we make any choice. And I do sometimes discuss them. So what I feel is maybe they'll let us choose, but not have the money.
Say, become a partner. 100 gold for a share of the box. 50 gold needed to open it. And 20 gold to post Adventurer Guild ads. Needs 170 gold. Dim. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 2.
No, they won't let us check it.
Unchecked.
No.
Say, I don't have the money. Next. Button. Say, I don't have the money.
I guess I have to say I don't have the money.
Check. Next. Button.
Okay, here we go.
Unchecked. Work in the local library. Radio button.
We need
Unchecked.
to get the money
6 of
to
9.
get this. Okay, looks like we're going to have a chance to make the money to pay for this.
Well, I still want you. The large woman frowns at you. Show stats. Button. The large woman frowns at you. It is clear that she had been thinking about this conversation for a while now and that she hadn't considered this. Well, I still want you along, she says. Fine, don't worry about the money. I'll just hire you then. You'll still get your share, but I get first dibs since I'm the one forking out the gold.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is going to take a while and I have some personal business to take care of too, she says. You should stay here. It's a nice place and I know the innkeeper.
Yeah, I'll stay here. No worries.
Arrangements are made and 2 rooms are booked. Thea finishes the rest of her drink with a large gulp before leaving the bar. You aren't sure how long it will take, but you know that sitting idly and waiting wouldn't be a good idea. With an entire city at your fingertips, surely someone must be hiring.
Yeah, we need to get some work. We need money.
Gold minus 20.
Okay? And that's our sound for getting money or spending money.
Find a monastery in order to continue your profession as a monk. Radio button. Check.
Okay,
1 of
so
9.
this is the first time they've officially told me that I am a monk. So it's really good that we're starting to understand that. Like I said, it was a little tough at first, but I feel like we've had very good success with hand-to-hand kind of arts. I really, really like it.
Become a priest. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 9.
Oh, I can actually choose some other abilities.
Join the Thieves Guild. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 9.
Interesting.
Become an apprentice wizard. Radio button. Unchecked.
We
4
do
of 9.
need to get some magic action, but we're going to do more monk stuff, I think.
Work for the city guard. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 9. Work in the local library. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of 9. Find work as a thug. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 9.
No.
Work as a nature guide. Radio button. Unchecked. 8 of 9.
That sounds fun.
Go shopping. Radio button. Unchecked. 9 of 9.
Okay, we can do a lot of different things. I do want to do all of these things. All right, let's get some training first, and then we'll go shopping, and then we'll see if there's any odd jobs.
Arrangements are made. Gold minus 20. Find a monastery in order to continue your profession as a monk. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 9.
Let's go to the, let's do that. Let's do the monk thing.
Become a priest. Go shopping. Radio button. Next. Button. Next. The life of a traveling monk is... Show stats. But the life of a traveling monk is quite common. You are immediately offered a room, but decide to stay at the inn to be closer to Thea. You spend your days in quiet contemplation, honing your body and mind into weapons. The other monks teach you new skills in forms that you have never seen before. They also offer you some money to pay for your room back at the inn.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Gained level in monk. Gold plus 10. Unarmed plus 10. Religion plus 5. And agility plus 10.
Sweet. Nice.
From within the privacy of your room at the inn, you look over your demon stones again, determined to learn their secrets. From your first experiences with the demons, you decide to not try to summon any demon whose name you don't know.
Okay, we're not dealing with this demon stuff again. It's always a disaster.
Willpower plus 5.
Okay, ooh, we got a little bit of willpower upgrade.
Hold the Zyata stone and concentrate. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4.
All right, which one do we know? I think we know one, the little small ice demon.
Hold the Brow stone and concentrate. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of... Hold the Zonch stone and concentrate. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4. Put the demon stones away. Hold the Zonch stone and concentrate. Hold the Zyata stone and concentrate. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4.
We'll try this first stone. Let's see what we can do here.
Next. Button.
Let's see if we can do anything with this. We need to learn how to use these.
Zyata appears in front of you. Its fragile blue body is only 1 foot tall.
That's
and
right.
It has a delicate web of ice between its fingers and toes as well as between its arms and its torso.
The little ice demon. Cool, cool, cool.
Hello again, Master, Zyata says.
All right.
Ask, why don't you do everything I tell you to? Radio button. Check.
All right,
1
now
of 4.
we're going to ask it some questions. Okay, what are we going to do here? Let's ask some questions.
Ask, who was your previous owner?
Okay,
Radio
we
button.
did ask
Uncheck.
him these
2 of 4.
questions, but these questions before. It didn't seem like he wanted to answer.
Ask, why don't you do everything I tell you to? Radio button. Check. 1
Okay,
of 4.
that's a good question.
Ask, who was your previous owner? Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4.
Previous owner, I don't really care.
Say, come with me and fight at my side. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4.
He's not. I don't think we're ready yet. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Let's ask normal questions. I don't want it to blow up in my face.
Ask, why don't you do everything I tell you to?
Yeah, let's try
Radio
that.
button. Checked. 1 of 4. Next. Button. Next. Ask, who was your previous owner? Ask. Because I don't have to. The ice demon replies. You may have bent my will enough to force me to stay here, but I can still fight you. Needed 40 willpower.
Okay, whatever, you smartass.
Ask, who was your previous owner? Radio button. Check.
Let's
1 of 3.
talk to you about your previous owner.
Next. Button. Next. I cannot speak of that, Zyata says with a shudder.
Okay.
Force the creature to submit to your will. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
I don't know. Should we try to make it... Should we do that? Maybe. I don't want to deal with this little demon. He's still too strong for me.
Don't change the amount of force you are exerting. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2. Next. Button. Don't change the amount of force you are exerting. Radio button. Unchecked.
It doesn't matter. We gotta eventually learn to control this guy. Let's try to force him.
Force the creature to submit to your will. Radio button. Checked. 1 of...
Okay.
Don't... Next.
Let's
button.
try forcing it.
Unchecked. You grunt slightly as you push your will upon the demon. You feel that you simply aren't strong enough to make it do as you like. Luckily, the demon isn't strong enough to take over your own will. With a pop, the imp vanishes. Needed 40 willpower.
Fail.
Hold the brow stone and concentrate. Radio button. Check. 1 of 3.
I don't think we can do anything with this one.
Check.
Let's try
Next.
the brow
Button.
stone.
Blackness.
Let's see if anything happens with this one.
Growl appears before you. It's 6 feet tall with large square shoulders and dark leathery skin that's covered in scaly warts. It has a pair of short stubby horns protruding from its forehead. You quickly say its name, but the demon hardly even reacts to it.
Okay, well, we're gonna fail with this one.
What fun shall we have? Growl says in its deep rumbling voice as it grins at you. You feel a pressure building in your head as the demon overpowers your mind. Needed 50 willpower, which is not possible at this time.
Okay.
Blackness. Button. Blackness.
Okay, we fail
button.
automatically.
You are standing in a dark alley somewhere in Lud. You look around, trying to figure out what the demon has made you do. Looking down, you see your dagger in your hands.
Oh, great.
A man's voice speaks from ahead of you. You have a clear view of him from your dark hiding place. It would seem that Growl had stalked this potential victim. Luckily, the possession wore off before it forced you to do something truly heinous. Quickly and quietly, you return to your room at the inn. When you get there, you are happy to hear that nobody saw you leave with the muscular demon.
Great. Stupid brow.
Hold the Zonch stone and concentrate. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
Let's try the Zal stone.
Put the demon stones away. Next. Button. Next. Button.
See what this thing
Set.
does.
Zonch appears amidst a small cyclone of dust. Its brown skin is obscured by the sand as it spins around its 1-foot-tall form. You quickly say the demon's true name. It seems to wince for a moment before you feel a strong pressure in your head which builds quickly and releases.
Did we get it?
What do you want? The monster rasps from within the dirt cloud.
All right, I think we got through.
Ask. Who are you? Radio button. Check.
Let's
1 of 6.
find out who he is.
Command. Next. Button. Next. Ask. What are you? Radio button. Check. I am Zonch. The dust devil says, the debris around it seeming to pick up speed for a moment.
Okay, so we're getting control of Zonch a little bit.
Ask. What are you? Radio button.
Let's
Check.
ask
1
what
of
he
5.
is.
Next.
All these
Button.
silly
Next.
questions.
Next. I am a demon, a dust mephit, dust devil, imp, air elemental. It says in its raspy voice. I have been given a lot of names. Say. Tell me about your previous owner. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4.
Not going to answer, but we'll ask anyway.
Next. Button.
They should have
Next.
laid a little bit more foundation of why we're asking these questions.
No. The creature says, seeming to shift uneasily from within its dirt cloud.
Okay?
Force the creature to submit to your will. Radio button. Check. 1
Okay.
of 2.
Might as well try to force it. Not going to work, but
Next.
we'll
Button.
try forcing it.
Next. You grunt slightly as you push your will upon the demon. You feel that you simply aren't strong enough to make it do as you like. Luckily, the demon isn't strong enough to take over your own will. With
Okay.
a pop, the imp vanishes. Needed 50 willpower.
Fail.
Put the demon stones away. Radio button. Check. Next. Button.
Let's put the
the demon
stones away.
Radio button. Check. Next. Button. You carefully put the rune-covered stones back into your runa bag. The days in Lud go by. You carefully put the rune-covered stones back into your runa bag. The days in Lud go by quickly and before you know it, you've been there a few months. One day, Thea abruptly enters the inn when you are eating your breakfast.
Man, we've been here a long time. We didn't get a lot done, but at least we got some monk training in.
I got it open. Thea says as she sets the box in front of you. You were right. The key was inside it. You could see the map inscribed within as well as the small smooth stone etched with runes that you suspected would be there. Do you have a moment? You say, yes, I have some time. Radio
All right.
button. Check. 1 of 3.
Of course I have time for Thea.
You say, yes, I wanted to talk to you too. Radio button. Uncheck. 2 of 3.
Yeah.
You say, no, I have things to do. Radio button. Uncheck. 3 of 3.
We really don't have anything to do.
Next. Button. You say, yes, I wanted to talk to you too. Radio button. Uncheck. 2 of 3.
I don't know what we have to talk to her about.
You say, yes, I have some time. Radio button. Check.
Well, let's
1 of
be
3.
more positive.
You say, yes, I wanted to talk to you too. Radio
Okay.
button. Uncheck.
Let's do
Check.
that one.
Next. Button.
I don't always like to use a default answer. I like to see what new things we can discover.
Next. Button. Next. Really? The large woman says tactlessly. What for? Needed 65 Thea relationship.
Oh. It was a flirt. We didn't know. Fail. I didn't know. How did I supposed to know? Great. Now we probably messed up.
Say, we should go get a beer together sometime.
Oh, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Say, I like you. Radio button. Uncheck.
Oh,
2 of 4.
Well, we can just start being nice.
Say, we should go get a beer together sometime. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4.
She does like beer.
Say, I like you. Radio button. Uncheck.
I
2
don't
of 4.
really like her.
Never mind. Radio button. Uncheck. 3 of 4.
We'll just say get a beer.
Next. Button. Check. Sure, Thea says, clapping you on the shoulder with one of her big hands. Let's get some drinks afterwards. But first, there's some people I'd like you to meet.
All right, let's meet her contacts here.
Thea relationship +5.
Oh, cool. We went up. Oh, nice.
I have most of the provisions purchased for our trip to find the Somriff stronghold, and I've hired 2 people to join us. In fact, there's one of them now.
Okay, let's meet these new, not losers, but fellow adventurers.
The door to the tavern opens and in walks a figure in dark robes. It is a pale man with black hair. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
All right, now we got to make our new... Now, this is the part of the game where we get to choose who we're going to meet, which I really like.
A pale woman with black hair. Radio button. Unchecked.
A
2 of
pale
2.
dude or a pale girl. Wow, this is a hard choice.
Next. A pale woman with black hair. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2. Checked.
Let's go for a pale woman.
Next. Button. Unchecked.
Okay.
The woman is of average height with long shiny black hair, a single lock of bright white hanging over her eyes. Her full lips are ruby red and slightly apart. Her robes cling tightly to her gentle female curves. She has an arrogant look on her pale face and seems to be looking down her nose at you. You recognize the robes that she is wearing. She's a soulburner, a type of powerful wizard not affiliated with the Academy, and perhaps even more controversial than the Consortium mages.
Oh, mama.
Extend your hand and say, "Welcome, I'm game." Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4.
Hell yeah. Or
Wait for Jess to speak first. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4.
we're going to play mind games of her? Really?
Comment coldly. A soulburner. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4.
Yeah, don't be arrogant.
Ask, are you a vampire or something? Radio button. Unchecked.
That's so
4 of 4.
rude, game.
Next. Button.
Let's just ask her.
The woman is of average height. Extend your hand and say, "Welcome,
Let's
I'm
just-
game."
let's
Radio
just
button.
be
Check.
a
1 of 4.
normal person
Next. Button.
and just greet her.
The Jess nods coolly, but doesn't extend her hand to accept the handshake.
Bitch. Let's see,
We're lucky that Jess is free to join us. Jess relationship +3.
oh, well, our relationship went up with her, even though she is witchy.
We're lucky that Jess is free to join us, Thea says. Soulburners are powerful mages who sacrifice their own spirit to fuel their magic. Due to the fact that you must be born with the ability, the Academy has very little say in how they use their magic. Although potentially powerful, many people feel that giving up their divine soul for magical power is evil. The door to the inn opens a second time. You can hardly believe your eyes. It's Petra. Memories of the time you spent with the young noble girl fill your head. You are shocked to see that she has grown into a beautiful and curvaceous young woman. Her freckles are still lightly scattered across her cheeks and her light brown hair falls in luxurious curls across her slender shoulders. You notice her bright green eyes fill with recognition as she sees you. She is wearing the metal plates of a clerical order, but they are unable to hide her womanly figure and soft roundness.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That soft roundness, mama. Ooh.
Game, she exclaims, rushing toward you and wrapping her arms around you.
Hi, Petra. We missed you. We missed this. We missed this artifact level gear.
Hug her back. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
All right, what should we do here? Oh, we're gonna pick up where we left off, mama. Don't even think about that barmaid. That was just a one-night stand.
Quickly untangle yourself from her embrace. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
Why?
2.
Don't be all, oh, we're nice to her. We're gonna piss off Thea. Oh, man. I gotta like my stump leg, mama. Oh, man, Thea, you're messing up everything, Petra. I got 2 mamas over here. You're hanging out, just gonna play the same old thing. Anybody I flirt with, you're gonna hate me.
Next. Button.
All right, what should we do here?
Quickly untangle yourself from her embrace. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
Watch.
2.
When we're nice to her, watch what's gonna happen. We're gonna lose all of our relationship with everybody else. Man, girls, why y'all gotta be hating on each other and stuff? What's more? There's enough game to go around, mamas. You know what I'm saying? There's enough for me to go around.
Next. Button. Quick. Hug her back. Radio button. Check. 1
Let's
of 2.
do the hugger back. Here we go.
Next. Button. Next. You hold her closely as memories of your childhood fill your mind.
All right. Memories. Memories of hugging Petra in the library, playing fencing all alone, giving kisses with her mouth full. Oh, Petra, I remember when... Oh, wait.
Petra relationship +3. You
Oh,
hold her closely as memories of your childhood fill your mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right.
Petra relationship +3. It's been a long time. Game. We have a lot to catch up on.
Sure do.
You haven't been recognized as the lost heir of Daria before. You quickly see that there is no need to worry about Petra blowing your cover. The lack of honorific shows that she will keep your secret.
Yeah, don't blow my cover, Petra.
I see you already know our cleric, Thea says.
Yeah, we know each other. Yeah, we're friends. You know what I'm saying?
You watch as Petra's eyes narrow while looking at Jess.
Oh, Petra, come on. Don't start that. Don't start that. Jealous.
I won't travel with this abomination. Your childhood friend says coldly.
Oh, Petra, come on. You just walked in with her. You know she's working together with us. Thea, straighten this girl out. I don't have time for this stuff. Big time attitude, Petra. Big time attitude.
Say, come on, Petra. A soul burner could be really helpful for this job.
Yeah, we
Radio
need
button.
somebody.
Check. 1 of 3.
Exactly. Don't start being a smartass. Jesus.
Say, I agree. We shouldn't expose ourselves to this evil magic. Radio
I
button.
like evil
Unchecked.
magic.
2 of
I'm
3.
a big fan of evil magic. I got demons in my pocket. I got demons in my pocket and a pocket full of demons. Demons in my pocket and a pocket full of demons. Demon in my pocket, got a pocket full of demons.
Say nothing. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
We should just stay the hell out of all these stupid arguments. But if I try to convince Petra, she's gonna get mad. But I'll build relationship with the new chick.
Next. Button. Say nothing. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
I should just stay the hell out of this. Why am I always sticking my big fat nose in everything? Let Thea handle this crap. I should just stay out of this. Fine, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna put my big nose in it.
Next. Button.
Fine, watch it mess up. Blow up in my
Next.
face.
Button. Jess returns Petra's cold look with an impassive countenance. Jess returns Petra's cold look with an impassive
Jess, why do you
countenance.
have to be, you know what?
Show stats. But Jess returns Petra's cold look with an impassive countenance. Petra relationship -5 and Jess relationship +5.
Oh, no, come on! I'm trying to get back in with Petra and you keep making... God!
I've already hired you both. Formally. Through the guild. Thea says, stemming any further argument.
Could you have stepped in a little earlier, maybe, Thea? Before I lost relationship with Petra? Yeah.
Very well, but I don't like it, Petra says.
Great.
The rest of the conversation is filled with business. Your party of 4 has been gathered and you will be following the map to the potential Somrith stronghold. Together, your group estimates that the destination is about 3 weeks away, back in the Duchy of Utto. Coincidentally, it's rather close to Elmvale, the small village where Sister Jerry raised you. The payout is simple. Every member will get an equal share of the treasure, but as the group's leader, Thea gets first pick.
Fine, whatever, but I'm gonna get me some loot too. I know I'm getting paid.
That should do it, Thea says. We'll meet back here in 1 week.
All right, okay, what are we supposed to be doing here? Do I get a chance to go shopping? Feels like I only had one choice. I want to do some shopping.
Jess nods at this announcement and leaves the inn without another word.
Okay, but I guess we're gonna do something. A lot of time is going by here.
I'll see you both in a week, Thea says to you and Petra before following the Soulburner out of the tavern.
Okay.
So, tell me, Petra says, how does the deceased Prince of Daria and heir to the throne end up looking for adventure in a seedy city like Lud?
Trying to get some pay, Petra. What are you doing here, Miss High and Mighty? Nice round curves and, you know, killer bod and, hey, you know?
Interrupt the question with a firm kiss. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4.
Yeah. She's gonna slap that.
Say, it's a long story. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4.
Maybe.
Say, I thought you were dead. Radio button. Unchecked.
Why would
3 of
I
4.
think she's dead? What do? I've been paying it. No reason why she'd be dead.
Say coldly. None of your business. Radio button.
I'm
Unchecked.
playing hard
4
to
of 4.
get, Hera. Okay.
Next. Button.
Let's just kiss her. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Next. Button. 1. You lean forward and press your lips against Petra's.
Uh-oh, here comes the smack.
MPPFFBBTT, she says, pulling away from you. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Trying to talk to you with my mouth.
Petra relationship -30.
Oh! Oh, fail!
I'm glad you're alive, but please, keep your hands to yourself. Needed 65 Petra relationship.
Okay, thank you.
Petra sits back in her chair as an awkward moment passes before you begin to speak again.
That's it. I'm so done with you.
You share your harrowing experience. You tell her about the fateful night when your parents were killed and how you escaped the castle with Sister Jerry. You tell her about your life in Elmvale and how you met Thea while working for Master Jet. Finally, you tell her about your plan to find something at the Somrith stronghold that would interest the consortium enough to grant you an audience with Alexander Zusak.
Oh, I got things to do. This is the part of my life that I'm serious about. I got peoples to kills. I got parents' revenge to get on these people. I got witches and sorcerers and poisoners to kill. So you can hate on me all you want, but I got a job to do.
Your secrets are safe with me, Petra says after you have told your entire story. I'll help you bring down Jesica and regain your throne.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
They are big words which underscore the enormity of your situation. You wonder why Petra has chosen to help you, but you are glad to have her aid. One morning you are meditating in the monastery when a strange thing happens. You see Brother Verilus, a gray-haired old monk, riding in a cart filled with food supplies. The horse suddenly screams and begins to buff. You aren't sure if it was a wasp sting or something else, but the cart instantly tears itself free of its straps and begins to lift into the air. You are certain that the old monk is going to be crushed in the wreckage.
Oh, it's the time for me to jump in like Super Monk.
It's at this moment that Brother Verilus stands up and steps into the air. That's the only way you can explain it, as the old monk literally walks above the wreckage and lightly steps back onto the ground several feet away. The other monks rush forward to help the poor horse, but Brother Verilus needs no medical attention.
Little magic going on, Brother Verilus. This could be somebody that he isn't Brother Verilus, whatever.
Later that day, you find Brother Verilus and inquire about the display.
Maybe he could teach me some levitation action.
Supernatural is a misused word, Brother Verilus says. To be so natural is to be above it. No, it's not magic. And no, it isn't divine influence. You've heard of Ki. In fact, the other brothers and sisters say that you are learning to hone your own will with great skill. But once you learn that all of nature is as one, you will learn to harness the world itself to do as you need. This takes great concentration and focus. Many a soul has let their body wither as their mind grew hard. Is that your desire?
Yeah, I want to learn how to walk above in midair.
You say, yes, I wish to hone my mind and learn these secrets. Radio button, checked. 1 of 3.
Yeah.
You say, I wish to seek balance. Radio button, unchecked.
Screw
2 of 3.
that.
You say, no, our bodies are our greatest gifts and should not be sacrificed. Radio button, unchecked. 3 of 3. Next, button.
I want to get the highest power possible.
You say, no, next, button. Next. You are a brave soul. The old brother, show stats. You are a brave soul, the old brother says. Concentrate upon the wind. Feel it, taste it, experience it, and one day, you may become it.
I will.
Perception plus 15, strength minus 5, and agility minus 5. You do as you are instructed, meditating upon air itself. You wonder if the old brother speaks truth or misunderstands how Ki works. This too, you meditate upon. As the group's leader, Thea purchases the food and equipment that will be needed. It is your last chance to buy or sell anything before leaving. In particular, you will need to buy a horse.
Oh, come on.
Leave without buying anything else. Radio do some personal shopping before leaving Lud. Radio button, unchecked.
Okay, let's
2
get
of
a
2.
horse.
Next, button. Do some personal shopping before leaving Lud. Radio button, unchecked.
I
2
hope
of 2.
the horse is not
Check.
expensive.
Next, button. Next. You make your way to the market district of Lud. You have 90 gold.
That's not enough for a horse, I bet.
Visit the stables. Radio button, check. 1 of 3. Visit the temple. Radio button, unchecked. 2 of 3. Done shopping. Radio button, next. Button.
Let's go to the stables.
Next, button.
Hope that
You
horse
look over the
isn't
horses in the corral
expensive.
which are available for purchase. Purchase an old swayback horse. Needs 50 gold. Radio button.
Ow.
Check. 1 of 6.
I can't afford even a swayback horse.
Purchase a farmer's old field horse. Needs 75 gold. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6.
I can get a fill. I get that horse.
Purchase a young timid riding horse. Needs 150 gold. Dim. Radio button. Unchecked.
I
3 of
definitely
6.
don't have that much money.
Purchase a healthy riding horse. Needs 300 gold. Dim. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 6. Purchase a fully trained war horse. Needs 500 gold. Dim. Radio
I would
button.
love a
Unchecked.
war horse.
5 of 6. Go back. Radio button.
Let's
Unchecked.
just get ourselves
6
a
of 6.
cheapy little horse.
Purchase a farmer's old field horse. Needs 75 gold. Purchase a young timid riding. Purchase a farmer's old field horse. Needs 75 gold. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6.
We'll get
Check.
this horse.
Next. Button. Next.
Cheapy horse.
The animal is old and has been worked very hard. He was likely strong once, but now the poor animal breathes heavily just being let out of the stable.
Oh, great.
Gold minus 75.
Great, great, great. Got an old, tired horse, just like me.
The horse trader says that his name is Buttermilk.
That's a terrible name.
Continue calling the horse Buttermilk. Radio button. Check. 1
I
of 2.
do not believe that will be your name.
Give the horse a new name. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
Let's
of 2.
give it a new name.
Check. Next. Button.
Okay, let's name
Next.
this horse.
Text field. Double tap to edit.
All
Use the
right.
rotor to access
This
text field.
horse's name shall be...
Next. Button. Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the insertion point at end.
All right, your name shall be... Buttermilk. Buttercup. That's a cute name. Let's call you, we're gonna call you Farty.
Cap C. Cap X. Cap C. Cap V. Victor. Cap G. Cap F. Cap F. A. A. E. R. R. T. T. G. H. Y. Y.
Farty. Yes. All right.
Text field is editing. Farty. Insertion point at end. Fatty. Next. Button. Next. Button. Next. Button. Check.
I like it. Farty, you're a good old fart.
You have 15 gold. Visit the stables. Radio button. Check. 1. Visit the temple. Radio button. Uncheck. 2 of 3. Done shopping. Visit the temple. Radio button. Uncheck. 2 of 3.
Let's go to the temple
Check.
real quick in case we can get a little bit of money. Last minute
Done shopping.
things.
Next. Button.
Last
Uncheck.
minute things.
Buy a flask of holy water. Needs 40 gold.
Oh, you could buy lots of stuff. Man, it's cool.
Buy a holy symbol. Needs 25 gold. Dim.
don't have
Radio
that.
button. Donate gold to the needy. Radio button. Check. 3 of 4.
Let's do...
Check.
Let's donate some money.
Go back. Radio. Next. Button.
Let's donate some money.
Next. Text field. Double tap to edit. Next. Button. Text field.
Okay,
Double
how
tap
much
to
are we
edit.
gonna donate
Use the rotor
here?
to access text field.
Let's donate.
You have 15 gold. How much do you wish to donate? Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the rotor insertion point at
Let's
end.
donate
Text field
5
is
gold.
editing. Insert comma. 5. 5.
5 gold is good.
Next. Button. Buy. You donate some gold to the needy.
Sweet. There we
You
go.
donate some gold to the needy.
Gotta help some folks out.
Gold minus 5. You have 10 gold. Buy a flask of holy water. Needs 40 gold. Buy a holy symbol. Needs 25 gold. Dim. Donate gold to the needy. Radio button. Check. Go back. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 4.
Let's go.
Next. Button. Go back.
Let's go back.
Check. Next. Button. Next. Visit the stables. Radio. Visit the temple. Radio button. Done shopping. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
We're done.
Check. Next. Button. Embark on a journey.
Here we go.
You conclude your shopping and leave the market district. Embark on a journey. Button. Embark on a journey. Button.
Let's go. Let's go.
It is a
let's
beautiful
go.
and sunny day as you wait patiently outside of the inn for the others to arrive. Thea is the first to appear from the direction of the stable yard. Her messy black hair hangs over her forehead in sweaty clumps. She is riding a big dark horse with filled saddlebags. Farty, your horse, nickers softly as they approach.
Go, Farty. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Me and Farty are going to get along just fine.
Petra and Jess arrive at the same time, each of them on horses of their own. They are already arguing, but catching only the tail end of the conversation. You aren't sure what it's about. The freckles on Petra's face soften her stern demeanor as she turns away from Jess to greet you and Thea.
Stop it already. Ugh.
Good, we're all here, Thea says as she puts her heels into the sides of the large black horse she's riding. The big horse responds immediately, leading your party out of Lud.
All right. Time to get out of here. Let's go.
Thea seems like a mountain in her saddle with her enormous warhammer hanging from her belt as her muscles ripple and flex. Jess seems so small.
Yeah,
in comparison,
Thea with those
her slender body
ripples.
rests lightly on her horse. She looks up through her shiny black hair, which frames her pale face. Next to the soul burner is Petra. You can tell that she has been trained to ride a horse properly. She was always a good rider, but now she trots with a military bearing.
Screw this stuff with Petra. I'm liking this bad mama. Yeah, this bad mama. That's what I'm talking about. This naughty little saucer mama.
The days go by. Button.
All right. Let's move it on here.
The days go by. Button. Next. The troll had likely been carrying... Show stats. Button.
Oh, we got a problem.
The troll had likely been carrying the box for many years, so you and your group don't push your mounts very hard. Each night, after the tents have been set up and firewood has been gathered, you find yourself with a few spare hours before it's time for bed.
All right, now we have a chance to do some stuff.
You spend your evenings talking about religion with Petra. Radio button. Check. 1 of 5.
Screw that.
You spend your evenings riding with Petra. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 5. You spend your evenings trying to learn how Jess works her magic. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 5. You spend your evenings working out with Thea. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 5.
Oh man, it's hard choices. I need to work out with Thea though. built that relationship, man. You know what I'm talking about? Let's find out a little bit more about Jess.
You spend your evenings trying to learn how Jess works her magic. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's
3
go
of 5.
hang out
Check.
with her for a minute.
You spend your evenings working. You spend your evenings sneaking into your companions' tents and stealing from them. Radio button. Unchecked.
I would
5
never.
of 5. Next. Button.
Let's go.
Next. Jess is reluctant to share any aspect of her magic with you. It takes a lot of coaxing for her to share even the smallest secrets of her gift. But since you don't know very much, every little tidbit is interesting to you.
Whatever.
Arcana plus 10 and Jess relationship plus 5.
Ooh, there we go. Little Arcana action.
Chat with Petra during the trip. Radio button. Check.
All right,
1
now
of
we got to
4.
work the Petra angle now. But let's work out with Thea a little bit.
Chat with Thea during the trip. Radio button. Unchecked.
Yeah, we're
2
going
of
to
4.
chat with Thea.
Check.
Keep that relationship going.
Chat with Jess during the trip. Radio button. Unchecked. Continue traveling. Radio. Next. Button.
Let's chat with Thea a little bit.
Unchecked.
Build that relationship.
Thea takes the role of leader very seriously. She tells the group when to stop for the night and when to get moving in the morning. Her large form also provides an excellent deterrent to any speculating bandits who may be watching. The remaining plains of the Eden Duchy stretch around you as you leave Lud behind.
I've been speculating Thea the whole trip.
Remark in a friendly way. The flat plains around Lud must have seemed very different from the mountains you grew up in. Radio button. Check. Pick flowers for Thea. Radio button.
This
Unchecked.
never
2 of
works.
4.
She hates flowers.
Enter Thea's tent during the night. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4.
Not gonna happen.
Stop talking to Thea. Radio button. Enter. Pick flowers for Thea. Remark in a friendly way. The flat plains around Lud must have
Yeah,
seemed
let's
very different from the mountains you grew up in.
Talk about her mountains.
Radio button. Next.
She likes
button.
talking about the mountains.
Next. Button. Next. You got that right, she says in her deep rumbling voice. I miss the Nordgun. Ask. Will you return someday? Radio button. Checked. Say. Just a bunch of smelly mountain men and mountain women up there anyway.
Yeah,
Radio
that's
button.
really rude.
Unchecked. Next. Button. Next. Button. Checked. I can't, she says. It wasn't my fault, but the clan chief will never forgive me for the death of his son.
Oh, well, it's not your fault, Thea.
What happened? You ask.
I'm really empathetic.
I don't want to talk about it, Thea says, leading her horse away from you and ending the conversation.
Okay.
Thea relationship plus 3.
Okay. Little bit.
Pick flowers for Thea. Radio button. Check. 1 of 3.
Fine. We'll go pick flowers for Thea.
Next. Button. Next.
Never works.
Enter Thea's tent during the night. Enter Thea's tent thanks, Thea says. But why don't you keep them? I don't like bees and these'll draw them.
I hear you.
Enter Thea's tent during the night. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2. Stop talking to Thea. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2.
Let's not go in her
Check.
tent.
Next. Button. Next.
Now it's time to talk to Jess.
Chat with Petra during the trip. Chat with Jess during the trip. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3.
Let's talk to Jess first.
Check. Next. Button. Ask. The Soulburner seems very stern and cold. Her pale skin stands out in stark contrast to her jet black hair. Although she wears a dark robe, you can see that she has a firm athletic body underneath it. All traces of the plains are gone as you enter the lush forests of the Otto Duchy. Ask. What's it like being a Soulburner? Radio button. Check.
Yeah, we'll
1
start
of 4.
off with that.
Next. Button. Enter. Lonely. Jess says, her cold exterior momentarily breaking. I've tried to fit in at the academy. I almost did it too, but then. You watch as the cold emotionless expression washes over her face once more as the walls come up. You're surprised to hear that a soulburner had gone to the academy, since soulburning was so different from magic. Jess doesn't say another word, but you sense that there is a story to be told.
Probably.
Jess relationship plus 3.
Nice.
Ask. Did you really go to the academy? Radio button. Checked. 1. Pick flowers for Jess. Radio button.
No
Unchecked.
flowers.
2 of. Enter Jess's tent during the night.
Too
Radio
soon.
button.
I'm
Unchecked.
learning.
3 of 4.
So flowers only if we're really close to having a really high amount of relationship with her. So we're just gonna keep it very casual.
Pick flowers for Jess. Ask. Did you really go to the academy? Radio button. Next. Button. Next. Yes, she says stonily. I'd rather not talk about it right now. Jess relationship plus 3.
Nice.
Pick flowers for Jess. Radio button. Check.
No,
1
we're
of 3.
not doing any flowers.
Enter Jess's tent during the night. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
Definitely
of 3.
not.
Stop talking to Jess. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's go
3 of
talk
3.
to Petra now.
Check. Next. Button. Next. Continue traveling. Continue traveling. Chat with Petra during the trip. Radio button. Check. 1. Show stats. Chat with
Talk
Petra
to
during the
Petra.
trip. Continue traveling. Next. Button.
All right, Petra.
Petra has
what
become
are
very
you
serious
up to?
compared to how you knew her as a child. The religious order that she joined is known to be very strong, very strict, and very militant. Her bright green eyes have a piercing intensity to them that is somewhat unnerving. She has become very strong and muscular, likely from the thick plaid that she wears all the time now. The thick forests of the Udo Duchy surround you. You are getting very close to the Somrith stronghold. Ask, will you help me fight back against Zusak and his man? Radio button. Check.
She
1 of
already
6.
said she would. I don't know why we're asking her the same question.
Ask, what happened to your parents? Radio button. Unchecked.
That
2 of 6.
sounds more interesting.
Checked. Pick flowers for Petra. Enter Petra's tent during the night. Ask, why do you hate Jess so much? Radio button. Stop talking to Petra. Next.
Let's
Button.
ask her a lot of stuff.
Next.
We're not going in any tents.
Ask, will you help me fight back? Dead. Killed by Zusak and his men. Petra
Oh,
replies
her
coldly.
parents were killed
I don't want to
too.
talk about
I
it.
know that.
Needed 60 Petra relationship.
Okay, well, that's not my fault. How would I know? You know everything about me. You want to say nothing about yourself.
Ask, will you help me fight back against Zusak and his man? Radio button. Check. 1 of
talk about
5.
this
Next. Button.
This is no good.
Next. Button.
Let's see what happens there.
Unchecked. Do you even have to ask? Petra asks.
Yeah,
Of course
I
I
feel
will.
ya.
Why don't you use the demon stones you took from Zusak to get an audience with the consortium?
I'm trying.
They were owned by Zusak. They'll be registered in his name. You explain. I need something that's never been owned by a consortium member before. If I have something they've never seen before, they'll let me into the stronghold.
Yeah, it sounds so... Our character sounds so incredibly naive. Like, why? They're just gonna kill us.
What then? Petra asks. Say, I'll find a way to kill Zusak. Radio button. Say, I'll search for clues as to why he murdered my parents. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4.
No, I'm gonna kill him first.
Say, I learn what's so important about a demon stone that doesn't even work. Radio. Say, I'll find proof of his crimes and bring him to justice. Radio button. Unchecked. 4. Next. Button.
Well, we're gonna do all that stuff.
Will you eventually tell Thea and Jess who you really are? Say, it's safer if they don't know. Say, it's safer if they don't know. Radio button. Check. Will you eventually tell Thea? Show stats. Will you eventually tell Thea and Jess who you really are?
I don't think it matters.
Say, it's safer if they don't know. Radio button.
Probably
Check.
is safer
1 of
if
3.
we don't know.
Say, I don't trust them yet. Maybe later. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
If we
3.
say that, we'll probably build relationship.
Say, it's none of their business. Radio button. Unchecked.
It
3
isn't
of 3.
it isn't any of their business. That's true.
Next. Button. Say, it's none of their business. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
It isn't any of their business.
Check. Next. Button. Next. Pick flowers for Petra. Show stats. Lost Heir 1. Heading. Show stats. Button. Pick flowers for Petra. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4. Enter Petra's tent during the night. Ask, why do you hate Jess so much?
All right.
Radio button. Unchecked.
We'll pick some
3 of 4.
Let's ask her about why she hates the other girl first.
Stop talking to Petra. Ask, why do you hate Jess so much? Radio button. Unchecked. 3
Even
of
though
4.
she did tell us already.
Check. Next. Button.
She already
Unchecked.
told us. They're competing schools of magic.
She's a soulburner, Petra says. The gods gave us our immortal souls as a gift, yet she chooses to squander it away piece by piece. They're as bad as demon summoners.
I'm a demon summoner.
Say, I'm a demon summoner. Radio button. Check.
I guess
1 of 3.
you're right.
Say, I agree. Radio button. Say nothing. Radio button. Uncheck. Next. Button. Next. That's a terrible thing, Petra says with disgust, shaking
Whatever.
her head sadly. I understand if you have to do it, but just keep it away from me.
Whatever.
Petra relationship -10.
Oh, well, it's going downhill here, Petra.
Pick flowers for Petra. Radio button. Check. 1 of 3.
Picking flowers is not going to do any good.
Enter Petra's tent during the
Let's
night.
find out what
Radio
happens.
button. Next. Button.
Let's pick flowers and see if that
Next.
improves anything.
Although she took the flowers, it seemed like it was done merely out of politeness. Needed 70 Petra relationship.
Oh, whoa.
Enter Petra's tent during the night. Stop talking to Petra. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
Let's
2.
stop talking.
Check. Next. Button.
And
Next.
keep moving.
Continue traveling. Continue traveling. Radio button. Check.
Okay, let's continue traveling.
Next. Button. The days are filled with travel as you and your party follow the map inscribed on the inside of the Somrith box. You estimate that you are only a few days away from Elmvale, but you have never been where the map is telling you to go. It leads you off the safety of the well-traveled roads and into the untamed wilderness. After a few days of traveling through difficult terrain, you know that you are far from civilized lands. What did you cast? Petra shouts suddenly. You had a blood wasp on you, Jess replies calmly. You are all walking through the dense undergrowth leading your mounts on foot. Petra is no longer even holding the reins to her mount as she stands face to face with the soulburner, her hand resting on the handle of her morning star.
You guys, stop this fighting.
Liar, Petra shouts, her face a bright red. The witch hexed me. No, I did not, Jess says in a cold and arrogant voice as Thea stands by watching the display. I saw a blood wasp land on the back of your neck. I destroyed it before it could sting you. Say, easy, Petra. Blood wasp stings can be deadly. You should thank Jess. Radio button. Check.
God,
1 of 4.
how much more do I want her to hate me?
Say, keep your evil magic to yourself. If you're going to cast, you need to ask and warn us before you do. Radio button. Unchecked. Lie. Oh no, Petra. You've grown an enormous wart on your nose. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4. Say, I still haven't seen you do any magic. Can you blow up another bug or something? Radio button. Unchecked. Next. Button.
The first answer is the only one that sounds semi-mature.
You are all walking through the dense undergrowth leading. Liar. Petra shot. No, I didn't. Say, easy, Petra. Blood wasp stings can be deadly. You should thank. Next. Button.
Let's try this.
This is absurd, Petra says loudly, moving her hand away from her morning star and glaring at you.
Uh-oh.
Show stats. Button. This is absurd. I don't need thanks. Jess says quietly. I just didn't want to lose our healer. We may need her. Petra relationship -10 and Jess relationship +10.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
The horses have a difficult time going through the thick foliage, but you can tell from the map that you're getting very close to your destination. There is some controversy as to what a particular symbol means on the map. Thea thinks it indicates a good camping location, just outside of the former Somrith stronghold. Jess thinks it might mean a marsh of some kind. Your knowledge of maps comes in handy as you quickly realize that the symbol indicates quicksand ahead.
Okay.
Stop, you shout. There's quicksand ahead. We better go around it. The warning doesn't come a moment too soon. Jess takes a stick from a nearby tree and pokes at the ground in front of her. It moves sluggishly, coating the stick with wet sticky mud. You and your companions go around the danger, approaching the Somrith camp from a different angle. Nature +3.
Oh, cool. Got a tiny bit of nature. It's cool.
A few hours later, you arrive at the destination marked on the map described within the Somrith welcome box. You leave 40, your horse, a safe distance away from what you've found. The animals gather together to eat the dark green grass growing in the underbrush as you and your companions walk forward on foot.
Farty. I know you love me.
You see the consortium camp before you see the entrance to the Somrith stronghold itself. There are 6 guards sitting around a campfire with a tent nearby, black runa bags on each of their hips. They are eating a meal and talking quietly to each other. Behind them, you can see the nearly white stone of a large circular closed door, the entrance to the stronghold. Even from your hiding place, you spy the small hole where your stone key would fit. Next to the door there is a roughly hewn tunnel being dug. You can see pickaxes and shovels as well as the piles of rock and stone nearby. Listen to the consortium mages. Radio button. Check. 1 of 7.
We just gotta be careful here. This sounds like a D&D story RPG moment. We're gonna fail terribly.
Charge forward. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of... Conjure a noxious cloud to fill the enemy's camp. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 7.
I doubt that's gonna work.
Attempt to open the door to the Somrith stronghold and flee inside. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 7.
That's a bad idea.
Draw your bow and attack from a distance. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 7. Wait for nightfall. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of 7.
That sounds like a great idea while everybody's asleep.
Talk to them. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 7. Next. Button. Talk. Wait. Draw. Charge forward. Listen to the consortium mages. Radio button. Check. 1 of 7.
Yeah, listening to them. Whatever. I don't think that's gonna make any difference.
Talk to them. Radio button. Next. Button.
We'll listen for
and
a
oregano.
minute.
One of them is saying. It's worth it. Another agrees for and oregano. 1. Show stats. Button. And oregano. One of them is saying. It's worth it. Another agrees from across the fire. Easy to carry and really makes a difference. They are all eating from wooden bowls and discussing the spices they like to take with them when traveling. The more you listen, the more you realize they are just normal people doing a job. Their conversation moves on to other foods, their families, their friends, and other mundane things. They never seem to get around to talking about what they are doing there, although it seems obvious to you. They are attempting to tunnel into the Somrith stronghold. Since they don't have a key, they might have been there for a month already and they will likely be there for many more months before they are successful.
Okay, well.
Charge forward. Radio button. Check. 1 of 7.
What do we do here?
Conjure a noxious cloud to fill the enemy's camp. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 7.
Well, keeping them confused and poisoned would be nice.
Attempt to open the door to the Somrith stronghold and flee. Draw your bow and wait for nightfall. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's wait for
5 of 7.
nightfall first. Night's
Check.
always better to wage an assault.
Prepare a poison. Talk to them. Radio button. Next. Button. You and your companions lead your mounts away from the camp. Once you feel that you've gotten far enough away, you set up a small camp of your own. You're careful to have no fire and to keep your voices low, not wanting to alert the consortium guards to your presence. A few hours pass as you wait for the sun to go down and some of the night to pass.
Alright, now it's time to do something.
Go alone. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2. Take everyone with you. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2. Next. Button. Take everyone with you. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
Of course
2.
we're taking everybody
Check.
with us.
Next. Button. Next. Button. The 4 of you walk as quietly as you can. Although for Thea, that isn't very quiet. The camp is quiet and you see that their campfire has
Whoa.
dwindled down to ashes. A single large tent is set up
Shouldn't
next to the
Patriot
barely
have a
begun tunnel.
harder time?
Even from the
She's
edge of
got
the camp,
plate mail
you can
on.
hear snoring coming from within.
Yeah, the plate melt would make a lot more noise.
You hear something that catches your attention. It sounds like small pebble shifting, which is strange since the ground is soft soil. You raise your hand as a signal for everyone to stop moving. To your surprise, you see a small white man-shaped figure walking slowly around the camp. The creature is perhaps only a foot tall and clearly made of stone. The sound you hear is its legs rattling together as it walks. Considering that they are consortium mages, you suspect that it's a demon of some type. So far, it hasn't hurt you.
A little demon, huh?
Attempt to tie it up before it can give warning. Radio button. Check. 1 of 6.
Yeah, we should try to tie it up or something. Probably will get away, though.
Have Thea crack it over the head with her enormous hammer. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6.
That's a really good idea.
Attempt to overtake the creature's will. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 6.
Ooh. I'm gonna try. That sounds like a great idea.
Wrestle the creature to the ground and silence it. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 6.
Yeah, let's try a wrestle. Let's wrestle it.
Check. Strike the demon from behind with your sword. Bind the creature with bands of magic. Radio. Next. Button.
Let's wrestle it.
Next. You quickly grab the little creature and close its mouth. It struggles in your grasp, but you hold it still. A strange thing suddenly happens. It simply pops out of existence. You've heard of this. A demon that is unable to do as its master commands is sometimes returned to its own plane of existence against the demon's will.
That's cool. That'll work.
Unarmed +3.
Yeah, that's right. Unarmed, baby. Monk power.
The sounds of snoring continue to come from the tent as you walk through their camp. You see the door to the stronghold ahead of you.
Should kill these guys, though.
Enter the stronghold. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4. Cast a sleep spell over the tent. Radio button. Unchecked.
I'm not
2
good
of
at
4.
magic. I don't want to.
Slip into the tent and attempt to tie the guards up. Radio button. Unchecked.
That
3
sounds
of 4.
like a better idea.
Slip into the tent and silently slit all 6 guards' throats. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 4.
Yeah.
Next. Button. Slip into the tent and silently slit all 6 guards' throats. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 4.
Let's do
Check.
this. Throat slitting time. Let's go.
Next. Button. Unchecked. Petra relationship -5.
Whatever, Petra. Goody two shoes.
No. Petra says show stats. But no. Petra says loudly as you begin to walk toward the tent. I won't be a part of this. Petra relationship -5. The noise alerts the mages to your presence. The tent opens and the 6 guards
Petra.
pour out into the night. Some of them are scrambling for their black runa bags and others are drawing swords. Thea's voice roars loudly as she rushes to your side. Petra is there too, drawing her shiny morning star from her belt loop. You glance over to see that Jess seems frozen in place. She isn't saying any magic words, but judging from the sweat running down her face and the look of concentration in her eyes, you guess that she is working her magic.
Good. We'll hit him with something.
Attack the closest guard with your sword. Radio button. Checked. 1 of Attack the closest guard with your hands. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6.
Let's keep our monk skills up.
Attempt to blast the guards with a fireball. Radio button. Unchecked.
No,
3
no,
of 6.
no. None of that crap.
Draw your bow and fire an arrow. Attempt to open the door to the Somrif stronghold and stand back and let your companions deal with the situation. Next. Button.
Let's get some hand-to-hand combat, huh?
Draw. Attempt to blast the guards with a fire. Attack the closest guard with your hands. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6.
And
Check.
it's time to grab him.
Next.
Let's
Button.
go.
Unchecked. Your fist strikes one of the guards in the jaw as she attempts to draw a demon stone from her black runa bag. She falls to the ground unconscious. Unarmed +3.
Oh, yeah.
Thea tries to smash one of the mages with her large hammer, but the guard dodges the near-fatal blow. Suddenly, Jess screams loudly. A twin pair of bright white beams streak from her eyes and connect directly to the eyes of one of the guards. The guard
Nice.
begins to scream immediately as a look of terror washes over her face. She drops to the ground, black holes still pouring smoke where her pupils used to be. The white beams vanish as Jess hangs her head in exhaustion. The remaining guards gather together. You watch as one of them draws a bright demon stone from his pouch while the others keep you and your companions back with their swords. Flames and
No.
fire dance as a red-skinned 5-foot demon appears from thin air. You hear the summoner
great.
speak something, but you can't catch the words over the din of the battle.
Uh-oh.
The creature has flames rippling across its skin and each footfall leaves behind black ash footprints. It reaches a long clawed hand up into the air and a large gout of flame blasts toward you and Jess. Duck the fire. Radio button. Check. 1 of 3.
Okay.
Step behind Jess. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3.
We're such a coward if we do that.
Step in front of Jess. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
All right.
Next. But step in front of Jess. Radio button.
Jess,
Unchecked.
I'm here to
3 of 3.
protect you.
Checked.
All right, Jess, I stepped in front of you. This better get me in your tent.
Next. Button. The fire blasts into you, burning your clothing and your skin. You feel painful blisters appear across your cheeks and are unable to breathe as the fire pulls the oxygen away from your lips. Blackness slowly closes in from every direction as you fall unconscious. Jess relationship +15. You awake with a gasp as bright holy light floods your vision. Your body feels alive as it never has before. You can hear Petra's voice as she prays to her deity for help. Slowly, the blessed feeling leaves you and you are able to stand up. Your near fatal wounds look like they are weeks old even though only minutes have passed.
Okay.
Health to 25.
Okay, cool. Health has gone up. Appreciate that.
A soft light shines upon you from above, but it isn't firelight or sunlight. Small spherical crystals have been placed along the walls on either side of the hall that you find yourself in. It doesn't take long to realize that you are in the Somrith stronghold.
Alright.
We lost them, Thea says breathlessly from beside you while holding her side. I used the key and opened the door. Then, I picked you up and ran in here. I don't know how long we've been running with them following, but I think we lost them.
Well, good. Thank you.
You glance over at Jess, but the soul burner looks away. You can tell that your sacrifice deeply affected her. She looks as exhausted as Thea, likely from using her magic. You see that Thea is holding a blood-soaked bandage to her side and limping slightly from the pain. It looks like the fighter also received a near-fatal wound from the fight. You hope that Farty and the other mounts will be safe outside as you walk down the hall.
If anybody hurts Farty, they're so dead. I know.
The white stone walls are smooth and the corners are masterfully cut. You've never seen such skill with stonework. You walk through bedrooms, lavatories, kitchens, and lounge areas. You see plates, blankets, chairs, hairbrushes, and all other manner of items. Hours pass as you stroll through the ancient stronghold. The one thing that is noticeably absent is corpses. Why did the Somrith leave their homes? Why didn't they take anything with them? It is a mystery for the ages.
This just sounds very boring. They don't sound that interesting.
Well, what do we take? Thea says gruffly as you walk. It's a good question. Mundane items might be sold for gold, but it would be a long and exhausting affair. Also, such regular items would never get the attention of the consortium or grant you an audience with Alexander Zusak himself. Before you are able to say anything, the answer presents itself. What's that down there? Petra asks. At the end of the indicated hall you see a cavernous, high-ceilinged chamber. The concentration of multicolored lights reminds you of the time you first saw Zusak open his runa bag. The four of you walk toward it. You are surprised to find an enormous 20-foot statue in the center of the room. The bright lights come from a single demon stone embedded in the dais on which the statue stands. The rainbow of light from the stone is bright enough to illuminate the entire chamber.
Yeah? Well, we take that stone. Is it going to summon something? Sounds like a bad idea, but we'll do it anyway.
Try to pry the stone loose. Radio button. Check. Explain to the others what the statue means. Radio button. Uncheck. 2 of 3. Examine the stone. Radio button. Uncheck.
Yeah, let's
3
do
of 3.
all this first before we take it.
Next. Explain to the others what the statue means. Radio button.
And
Check.
let's explain what the stuff is.
Next. Button. Next. The man is clearly Somrith. You can tell by the clothing. You say as you examine the statue. See the medallion on his neck? That means that he was the leader. Probably the ruler of this stronghold. That would have made him a very powerful mage as well. The Somrith put a lot of emphasis on scholarly and magical ability. Jess snorts at the comment, her dislike of wizards showing clearly.
Okay, Jess doesn't like it.
You see the way his hand is extended. You continue, ignoring the soulburner. It looks welcoming. Like he's leading people to him. Arcana +3.
Cool.
Try to pry the stone loose. Radio button. Check.
Try
1
to
of
get
2.
as much skills as possible.
Examine the stone. Radio button. Uncheck.
Let's
2 of 2.
examine it first.
Check. Next. Button. Next. Button. The stone has runes on it which read Tybor.
Tybor, another demon.
Try to summon the demon from the stone. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2. Don't summon the demon. Radio button. Uncheck. 2 of 2.
Summoning it would be fine.
Next. Don't summon the demon. Try to summon the demon from the stone. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
Let's try to summon it. Whatever.
Next. Button.
Nothing ever happens to me.
You concentrate upon the stone,
I just
calling
wake up
forth the demon to
naked
whom it
trying
is
to kill
connected.
somebody.
The creature that appears looks nearly human. It's about 5.5 feet tall and is wearing brown robes. It has dark thick-scaled skin and 2 stubby horns protruding from its forehead. You carefully say the demon's true name. You concentrate. It's been a long time, Tybor says in a soft voice, its eyes glowing red. It was a mistake. I won't be doing it again. And no, you don't have nearly enough skill to command me to do it.
I know,
Goodbye,
I know.
foolish one.
Whatever.
Needed 80 willpower, which is not possible at this time.
I didn't even expect it. Don't get snarky.
The creature closes its eyes and fades from view, returning to whence it came. Your companions look at you, but say nothing. You notice that if you removed the demon's horns and gave it clear skin, it would look very similar to the statue in front of you. Try to pry the stone loose. Radio button. Check.
Okay, let's pry the stone loose.
Next. Button. 5. Thea nods approvingly. This is exactly the type of thing that would give you the audience with Zusak that you desire. Jess looks at the stone and then looks away, almost seeming bored. Filthy magic, Petra says. But yes, it will fetch a large price. If I use the coin for good, will it wash away the sins accrued from losing it upon the world? I guess that I'll have to wrestle with that moral dilemma. Because yes, I think we should take it.
Whatever. About time you came around, Petra. Stop being a goody two-shoes already.
What do we have here? A gurgling voice says from above.
Uh-oh.
You look up to see a terrifying sight. The entire roof of the cavern appears to be covered with a massive oozing blob. Tentacles covered with eyes dangle down all over the place. A single large fang-filled mouth speaks from the center of the disgusting thing. 5,000 years, it says. At first, I hated the idea of killing someone to protect them from that stone. But 5,000 years can change anyone's mind. The blob creature is firmly clinging to the roof, but its tentacles are everywhere, including within the stone itself. It begins to pull the ceiling of the entire stronghold down upon you while also reaching to grab you and your companions.
Great.
Continue to try to pry loose the demon stone. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2. Abandon the stone and run. Radio button. Uncheck.
Oh,
2
no,
of 2.
no. We're getting this thing.
Next. Button.
We're taking the stone.
Move over. Thea says as she puts her hands onto the stone with you and begins to pull.
Let's do it, Thea.
A chunk of ceiling the size of a small wagon crashes to the ground nearby. Thea grunts as the wound in her side opens even further from the effort. She steps away, holding her wound as blood pours from between her fingers. A smaller rock, the size of your head, falls from the roof and strikes your shoulder as you try to get the demon stone free. Needed 60 strength or Thea not injured.
Oh, shoot. Come on.
Health minus 35.
Did I die?
You feel someone grabbing you by the arm and pulling. In a daze, you have no choice but to allow them to lead you away. Petra leads you away from the statue where the demon stone is still embedded. It's blocked, Petra says, indicating the way you had come.
Of course. I think we're going to lose soon here. We're not having much success.
Sure enough, tentacles hang across the exit, twitching with menace. There had been many entrances into the statue-filled cavern when you had arrived, but between the tentacles and the rubble from the quickly collapsing ceiling, nearly all of them are now inaccessible. No words need to be said as the 4 of you run down a hallway, out of the large chamber. The small antechamber at the end of the hall has a circular door, similar to the one that you used to enter the stronghold. It stands to reason that such a feature may indicate an exterior door. It even has the look of an entrance room, filled with shelves, tables, vases, plates, and other decorations. Jess calmly places her hands on the door, looking for some way to open it. You don't see what she touches, but the door immediately hums as it opens, allowing fresh air into the small room. You see leaves and vines covering the opening, but Jess easily pushes them aside to give you a clear exit out of the stronghold. The night sky is still filled with stars, but the faint light of dawn can be seen between the treetops.
Okay, good job, Jess.
I'm not leaving empty-handed, Thea says as she starts filling her hands and pockets with decorative vases, urns, and knickknacks from the antechamber. Meanwhile, the entire room shakes. You know that within seconds, the stronghold will be no more and anyone still in the room will be crushed under the debris.
Well, we're leaving.
Help Thea ransack the antechamber for treasure. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 2. Leave the stronghold. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2.
Well, Thea, we gotta go, girl. I'm sorry.
Next. Leave the stronghold. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2. Checked.
You're probably strong enough to take it, but we're getting the heck out of here. I'm not gonna die over a bunch of baubles and bangles.
Next. Button. Next. You hear Thea following right behind you a moment later. You burst through the leaves and vines into the safety of the forest. You feel a shot from behind as the remaining consortium guards push their way out of the stronghold. The sound of crashing rock reverberates through the forest as rocks and dust burst out from the exit. The guards draw their swords and reach for their runa bags.
Now we're gonna fight these guys again?
Cast a spell to push them into the stronghold. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 7.
That's a good move.
Defend yourself with your sword. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 7. Defend yourself with your bow. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of. Defend yourself with your dagger. Radio button. Unchecked. Defend yourself with your fists. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 7.
Fists, of course.
Use your demon stone. Defend yourself with your fists. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 7. Checked. Use your demon stones. Let your companions deal with the enemies. Radio button. Next. Button.
Our fist time.
You awkwardly try to raise your fists as Petra continues to support your weight. The attempt is useless as you fall to the ground. Needed help.
What? I don't get it. What? Maybe I read that wrong. I thought we were fighting.
You awkwardly try to raise your fists as Petra continues to support your weight. The attempt is useless as you fall to the ground. Needed help. 3 large scaly demons with thick leathery wings pop into existence as one of the guards hits Thea over the head with the flat of their blade. She falls to the ground unconscious. Petra tries to help, but she finds herself unable to move as one of the demons wraps its thick muscular arms around her. Jess stands untouched with her head down, glaring at the guards through her dark black hair. Treasure hunters. One of the guards spits as he takes away the vases, plates, and other things from Thea's hands.
Great.
The demons stare down at you with hatred and malice in their eyes as the guards discuss your fate. Suddenly, Jess lifts her head and screams. Bright white light erupts from her eyes and shines on the guards. The light is so intense that it temporarily fills your entire field of vision with its brilliance. When it finally fades, everything is over.
Hopefully she killed him with some of her good magic.
The guards are gone, as are all of their belongings and the loot gathered from the stronghold. Nothing but ash remains. Jess lays unconscious on the ground next to Thea. Petra stands free.
Jess.
The demon's
Nice
gone.
magic.
Her eyes wide in shock. Look at her hair, she says, pointing to the soul burner. The single lock of white hair that had been hanging over her eyes was visibly whiter.
That's cool. Good job.
Some time later. Button.
All right, we made it. Jess's magic.
3 large scaly demons with thick treasure. The demons stare down. The guards are gone. Look at her hair, she says. The single lock of white hair that had been hanging over her eyes was visibly whiter. Some time later. Button. Some time later. Button.
Just one choice.
Some time later. Button. Some time later. Button. Thea and Jess slowly come back to consciousness and everyone moves deliberately, trying not to aggravate their wounds. Thea and Jess slowly come back to consciousness and everyone moves deliberately, trying not to aggravate their wounds. You walk through the forest and eventually find the entrance you used to get into the stronghold. It's now filled with rubble and debris as well. The stronghold is completely destroyed. You return to where Farty and the other mounts were left.
This is a terrible adventure. We fail.
Thea curses as she kicks a rock out of her path. All of that for nothing. The big fighter takes hold of her horse and climbs up. Thea has an awkward look on her face for a moment as something jabs into her backside. The irritated look turns into an enormous smile. She jumps back to the ground and begins to pull small Somrith knickknacks from her pockets. The guards had only taken what she had been holding and not what she had put into her pockets. You see a small glowing stone among the tiny carved animals Thea pulls from her pockets. It isn't the demon stone from the statue, but a different one. It looks well used and doesn't shine brightly, but at least it's an unregistered stone. You realize that your plan isn't over after all. With it, you will be able to gain entrance into the consortium compound and confront the man who murdered your parents.
The one thing I have to say is they should make some results more permanent. Like, it feels like a lot of the results are always designed for us to get a loser trophy. Like, we always seem to succeed even if we've made the worst choices possible. I would like if the choices did actually mean, if we made a very bad choice, like we decided to stay and continue to loot, that we'd actually fail. Or we decided to hold up a large boulder and it crushed us, we would die. I'd like to make the choices a little bit more logical and permanent, but it's fine. I mean, they're really good at the relationship system, though. That one is very, very well done. It's very intricate.
Elmvale is only a few days from here, Thea says in an exhausted voice. Let's get a room and divvy up the treasure.
Yeah, good. At least we're going to get some treasure. I want that stone.
I'm from Elmvale, you say. I know of a place we can stay for free. The trip back to the town you grew up in is uneventful, except for the newly falling snow that marks the beginning of winter. You recall that the ghost said that he'd speak to you when you returned to Elmvale. Despite this statement, you don't see the strangely glowing man anywhere and you start to wonder if it had just been a dream. As you ride, you come to a decision. You will need allies if you are going to confront Zusak and regain your throne. It is just past sundown when you finally arrive. This works in your favor, since it allows you to go straight to the temple without being seen by anyone.
Yeah, well, we wrapped that up. Let's get our music for wrapping it up. Where's our wrap-up music? We got a little bit of treasure.
Regain full health.
Cool, we got our full health back.
The main door is unlocked, allowing access into the temple proper. The large room is empty and the shrines sit quietly around you. Petra smiles at the sight. She is probably amazed to see where the heir to the throne of Daria had grown up. You lead the group down a small staircase and into the clergy's living quarters. You knock on the door and Sister Jerry answers.
Sister Jerry! My monk from down Erie!
Say, it's so good to see you again. We need a place to stay the night. Radio button. Check. 1 of 3.
Yeah, we do need to stay here. And then I think we're going to wrap it up after this.
Demand. Let us in. Radio button.
I'm
uncheck.
not rude. This
2
is
of 3.
Sister Jerry, man. Watch your mouth.
Say, we need a place to stay the night. We can pay. Needs 5 gold. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
I'm just going to ask her for a place to stay. We don't have to pay Sister Jerry. She's a friend.
Next. Button.
Let's go.
Come in. Come in. Sister Jerry opens the door and lets everyone inside. The sparse room is very small, but she clears a small table for everyone to sit down at and gets out some food and drink from a small cupboard. She studies Thea and her eyes go wide when she sees Jess, somehow knowing what she is. When Sister Jerry sees Petra, her eyes go wider yet as she recognizes her from the castle many years before. You take a deep breath before continuing. My name is Prince Game. I am the rightful heir to the throne of Daria. You confess to Thea and Jess. This is Sister Jerry, my guardian.
Maybe we shouldn't be confessing right away, you know? We don't know them that well.
You continue to explain what happened on the night your parents were murdered and how Sister Jerry rescued you from the castle. Thea's mouth hangs open in amazement as Jess listens silently.
I guess we have no choice. They're forcing us.
I need the demon stone we found. I plan to use it to get an audience with Alexander Zusak, the man who killed my parents and broke up my kingdom.
Well, we are a prince. I guess we gotta let them know eventually.
It's true, Petra asserts. He is the lost prince. I grew up in the castle with him.
Yeah, I grew many times beside her.
The conversation over the next couple of hours is intense as Thea asks many questions. Jess doesn't say a word, but you can tell that your statement has rattled the Soulburner all the same. Sister Jerry seems surprised that you have revealed your true identity, but you can tell that she likes your plan of using the demon stone to get close to Zusak.
Yeah, well, we're gonna fail though.
Say, so that's why I need the demon stone. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
Well, that is true. Direct.
Say, so the demon stone is mine. Radio button. Unchecked.
We don't
2
need
of 2.
to be rude.
Next. Button. Good. Well, Your Highness, Thea says, I led the expedition, so I should get first pick. But yes, you can have the stone. It comes out of your share though.
Whatever.
Thea reaches into her pocket and takes out the demon stone. She turns it over in her hands a few times before handing it over. Gained an unknown demon stone.
Cool. We'll take that thing. Give it to us. Yes.
No titles. Sister Jerry says it the word highness, as it is. Too many people now know. Sister Jerry, we need them. There's no way I can reach Zusak by myself. And if they're coming, they need to know who I am. This is it. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. You pause. Will you all come with me?
We need to take Sister Jerry. She could fight.
Petra agrees to come almost right away. Thea isn't too far behind, whether for gold, fame, or loyalty. It is difficult to tell. Surprisingly, Jess nods in agreement as well.
Got a wizard, got a tank, got a healer. I'm just some random DPS.
Very well, Sister Jerry says. The 5 of us will go. We'll need provisions and a guide. Vernex is a long ways away and the mountain passes have already filled with snow for the winter. We won't be able to leave until early spring. Either way.
Okay.
Good, Thea says. That will give me time to sell the rest of the treasure we found. I guess we'll be staying here in Elmvale for the winter.
Cool.
Wonderful, Jess says dryly, speaking for the first time. Everyone gets out their sleeping rolls and lays them on the floor in the cramped sitting room. You return to your old tiny room, eager to sleep in a real bed again.
Come on, game. Where's your game at, brother? All kinds. You gotta hang out with Jess, man. Chat.
Invite Thea to join you. Radio button. Check. 1 of 4.
Okay. Like I said, we have some opportunities. All right. We're gonna stop right here for now. Ooh, this is getting interesting now. We have a chance to build some more relationship up. Everything's going good. Another interesting failed adventure. But we're going to go ahead and stop right here for part 3. We'll come back for part 4. And we'll see where this sleepover winds up at. We shall see. But it's been incredibly fun. I love the relationship system built into this game. It's well thought out. It's fun. It's intricate. It's detailed. It goes back. It flips and flops all over the place. But yeah, and it has a clear progression path for building relationships to the point that you are their lover. So I like to see them go even farther, like that we can actually do some controlling of characters once they're our partner or lover. That would be nice. And it would be nice to have a little bit more deeper conversations. That would be really, really cool. But anyway, this is part 1. I'm sure there's much more. Writers tend to go very easy in the beginning, and they get a little bit deeper as time goes. But I love Lost Heir. This is so fun. So I'm really having a lot of fun. But that's it. We're going to wrap it up right here. I've had a lot of fun. Hope you folks are enjoying this here. Like it. If you really like it, please. And feel free to subscribe so you are going to know that part 4 is coming. And yeah, I'm back. And next video, we'll chat a little bit and I'll tell you how it went down in LA. We'll decide who we're going to go try to chat to. You know what I'm saying, mommy? And have a little bit of fun. But we're definitely going to have a good time and play again soon. But take care, everybody. Keep gaming. Keep double tapping. And I'll hear you next time. Take care.